Hi, I'm Dr. Liz Reid. I'm a paleontologist here at the South Australian Museum, and I'd like to talk to you today about Tasmanian devils. Now, as a paleontologist, I specialise in deposits of fossils in caves. You could say I love caves. And one of my favourite animals that I find in the cave deposits is the devils. And it's interesting that at Naracoorte, whereas my main field site, some of the caves are ones that were used by devils in the past as dens. So just like forensic scientists, we look at the bones for evidence. So we look at things like tooth marks, how the bones have been broken, what animals have been brought in, and that tells us a wonderful story about how these animals used to walk around in the past and scavenge the remains of other animals. In fact, they've done us a service as paleontologists because a few years ago we found a cave where they dragged in the remains of the gigantic lizard Varanus priscus, and it's the only fossil we've ever found of the giant lizard thanks to devils. And not just the devil that we have today, there was also a giant extinct devil, and that's no longer around. You know, one of the things that is really great about my job and studying the fossil record is that I get to see a much longer perspective back in time for where our native animals used to live. And from my other study site, which is the Nullarbor Plain, we've seen that devils became extinct on the mainland of Australia with thylacines around 3,000 years ago, and they've been in Tasmania ever since. Another thing I see, which is a sad story, is the story of extinction. And what is really obvious from my studies is that many animals are on a knife edge of extinction depending on a variety of factors that may affect them. And this image by Jasmine Vink really, I think, gives a strong message of that, with this animal almost in the dark and almost in the light, so it could go either way. And we all know that in recent years, the devil has been suffering from facial tumour, so a disease that could actually drive it to extinction. We don't want this animal to go the way of the diprotodon and lots of other animals that we don't have in Australia anymore. So I think studying the fossil record is a really good way to understand the diversity of Australian mammals in the past and remind us that these are precious, unique animals that we have to look after and really get behind from a conservation point of view. So fossils aren't just about old things in the past. Hopefully we can use them to save the future.